of music or a podcast or something, like just whatever you find
Whatever you
relaxing
find
for you.
entertaining or
Yes,
relaxing, yeah.
Yes. And I also think it's healthy, like as I mentioned about mental health, like connecting with friends or like you mentioned, like shopping or like, just whatever brings you like that, joy, and whatever brings like, or spending time with your kids or like family. And like, I think as women, we wear a lot of hats, right?
Yeah,
Like, so
yeah.
We're mom, we're like daughters, we're wives, we are like, bosses at work or like, like.
Everything,
so
yeah.
it's hard to, I think it's sometimes like we get lost, we lose ourselves. And so I think whatever brings you that fulfillment, I think it's really important and part of that sort of that wellness, sort of overall wellness for yourself.
So hi Bharti, how are you?
I'm doing well, Sandhya. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you.
Yes, same here. Thank you for inviting me.
And I know that you've been really passionate about health, fitness, and wellness. I am not as good at all this, and I really want to learn. Like, what are your views on fitness? What are your views on wellness and health?
Yeah. Thanks for the question. I think when I think of fitness, I don't think of like, that, as I mentioned, like there's pillars to it, and I think like wellness is like, if you think about just wellness in itself, like it's being well, but what does that really mean? And it's more like an incorporation of like, I would say like the mind, the body, and the soul. And then there's different sort of like aspects to it, right? Like how do you take care of your mind and what centers you and what grounds you? And I think like diet and fitness are complements to that, wellness and like that aspect of like feeling good and looking good and wanting to, have longevity. Like whatever your reason is for getting started on like a fitness program or a diet program, first and foremost you have to ask yourself, what's your why? Why are you doing this? For what? So example for myself, like I got passionate about fitness because of my career in cardiac surgery. I work as a physician assistant in cardiac surgery. When people come to us wanting to have their heart surgery, I think of it as a big Band-Aid that you have to put on that patient, having to open up their sternum and doing all this, big, huge surgery to save their life, right? When I think about it, like that could have been prevented. That's what got me into like prevention and health and wellness for myself, and I also have a bad family history of heart disease in the family and diabetes, and being Indian, you just grow up not literally like thinking anything about
food is everything.
Food is everything. Food is medicine, but then food is also entertainment. Food is also like you cannot say no to somebody when you go to their house. So food is all around us. So how do we like develop habits that like allow us to enjoy life, but then also you're in moderation, right? And so that's how I kind of got passionate about this in the first place. And so seeing my patients going through that, I just felt like I feel like I need to do better. Like I feel like what's my why? My why is like I want to be there for my kids. I want to be able to run with them, play with them, and not be like, oh, mommy's tired or mommy's not feeling so good today. Like like
tired today or something.
Yeah, like being a mom of boys, I think like I just feel like activity is like a must.
It's a must. Running around, going for their practices and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, like life is busy, and so for me, like what's my me time like is actually when I get to work out or like do things for myself or go to a spa and get a massage, so I think of wellness and fitness as taking care of myself.
Okay.
And not just in like the aesthetic part of it, but just mentally, like I feel like obviously there's been endorphins that have been well studied that come as a benefit of working out and exercising.
You feel happy and
yes, exactly, the feel good hormones.
The feel good hormones.
Yes.
But I usually feel good doing shopping.
So shopping your cardio.
I sometimes think about it, just running in the mall or something, or like brisk walking.
Yeah, Yeah, like so these are like so. I think it's really all about being creative, right?
Yeah.
Like you can really sneak in, like say, like they say like okay, park your car like a little bit farther away, or like, take the stairs instead of the elevator. These are ways to kind of switch out and like kind of like being more active. Going for a walk. We live in such an amazing neighborhood, and so going for a walk I think is just amazing. You get 5 miles around, and so it's a good place to get activity in. And we live in a state where we're fortunate to have good weather year round.
Good weather around. So, walking with a friend, right?
It can be just as simple as walking, whatever like feels comfortable, putting on the music or a podcast or something, like just whatever you find
entertaining or relaxing.
Yes. And I also think it's healthy, like as I mentioned about mental health, like connecting with friends, or like you mentioned, like shopping, or like just whatever brings you like that joy, and whatever brings like, or spending time with your kids or like family. And like I think as women we wear a lot of hats, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're mom, we're like daughters, we're wives, we are like bosses at work, or like like
everything.
So it's hard to, I think it's sometimes like we get lost, we lose ourselves. And so I think whatever brings you that fulfillment, I think it's really important, and part of that sort of that wellness, sort of overall wellness for yourself.
Okay. And do you think like diet actually makes a difference? Like
I think it does. Yes. Okay. I think like, I mean, it's there's like so many diets out there. I don't like the word diet. It's more like eating, incorporating stuff that's like more like going back to basics. There's no, people tend to complicate, like the diet and fitness industry is such a $1 billion industry. Why? Because everyone wants to get skinny quick, and like all these quick fixes. And the thing is, like, people don't realize is like there's no quick fix. And it takes time. It takes time and hard work and dedication to achieve the results that you're looking for. Like, I mean, I just think about my own pregnancy. Like, it didn't take me 2 months to have a baby. It took me 9 months to have a baby. And so it's going to take like 9 months or more to lose the baby weight. So I think like diet is kind of one of those. Food is important. Food is medicine. I think we should view food as medicine, food as nourishment, and what nourishes us and what fuels us. And if you look at food in that aspect, you don't over glorify it, and you'll be more mindful and like have fun too. You only live once, so you should live life. But it's about moderation and balance. I think that the key word is balance, because there's so many aspects of our life that we need balance.
Oh yeah, we have a lot. Yeah, I also sometimes feel like sometimes it's genetics, right?
Yes.
Like a lot of people, two people can eat the same food.
Totally.
One person would be, not healthy, or you can see them breathless.
Yeah.
Another person is healthy. How do you? Is that actually true? Like, is it genetics?
I mean, it definitely has been proven. Definitely between men and women. I mean, I look at my husband. He eats the same thing as me. He, like, doesn't no pounds go. He doesn't gain any pounds. But like, I think definitely there's physiological differences between men and women per se. Like and obviously every body type is different. Some of us are a lot more prone to, aren't as carb tolerant.
Yes.
Meaning like you eat like some rotis or whatever, like that's too much for you. Or like you tend to, I tend to gain weight when I eat carbs.
Yeah.
Although I love them. They don't love me back.
They don't love you.
But I think that there is like, it's also like, I know like technology is getting better and better. There's like tests out there now that you can take that you can, find out what your metabolism is like when you eat certain foods.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So which is kind of interesting. It's good to have that knowledge, because then okay, I should avoid these type of foods because this is not really favorable to my body.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I want to say the name of the device is Lumen. It's like you breathe into it and it tells you like how many carbs, like what you should be eating that day for your weight loss goals. And so,
okay.
Anyway, don't quote me on that.
No, that's interesting that there must be something out there that you can, because sometimes I see like some people are very like skinny but their cholesterol is high, and I'm like, where is this cholesterol coming from? You're eating healthy, that's why you are not big or whatever, but they have high cholesterol.
Right.
So that's probably genetics. And and then with the way you're saying, so healthy food habits, moderation, balance, that's important, right?
Yeah.
And so my question is about, what is wellness? Like, is it same as being fit, or is it more about internalizing that?
Yeah.
Like,
I think like, it's such a vague term, honestly. Like, it's become like this sort of like foo-foo, like put everything under wellness. Like, it's a
Yeah.
huge umbrella. For me personally, what does wellness mean? I think it's like, as I mentioned, like I think it's a marriage between the mind, the body, and the soul.
Okay.
And it connects it together. Like, so I don't think of it. Yes, fitness is one aspect of wellness, but mental health is equally as important. Part
So
of
being
wellness.
happy and being
Yes, because they say like when you're happy, when you're fulfilled, you're like when your mind is at a good place where you're at peace with yourself and at happiness in your body, like all these other like matters, like the body sort of follows.
yeah, like stress eating would probably will be less.
Yeah.
Because you're happy.
Right.
Because you're just
Yeah.
you don't need food to make you happy that time,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But
Like
that
also,
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And then like we also some people that are like emotional eaters, and so
Oh, I'm one of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we eat when we're happy. Right?
Yeah.
So if we go somewhere, say we go to a wedding, right? We want to like enjoy.
And we're
so
happy, still we eat.
So we, the thing is like, okay, then okay, all right, maybe tomorrow I'll go for an
Yeah.
extra walk.
Extra.
Like you just try and balance, like I said, like just balancing it out. Or like for me, like I'm happy when I get like time to go to the spa and get a nice massage, or
Yeah.
get my nails done or my pedicure, like
Yeah.
or get my hair done. Like I just for me, like I like to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And for me, like a self-care routine is pretty much encompasses all three aspects.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah, because there's so many things out there these days. It's hard to actually know what to do, and a lot of we feel we like quick fixes, and that's not going to work according to what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
I used to be so like, oh yeah, like back when I was young, I could like lose weight quickly. Like for my wedding, I lost weight like.
But there is
record
some.
amount of
It
time.
is true. Like there is metabolism is faster when you're younger.
Yes, for sure. And women in our 40s and beyond, it's really hard.
Okay.
As we approach menopause, its body does slow down naturally, even for men too.
And why does it slow down? Like being a medical in
Yeah.
medical field, like what happens? Is it the
It's the body's change, like the hormonal changes. Like for us, for women, like estrogen is like, like sort of like the weight balancing hormone. Or
Okay.
Like, it just ends up like once like we approach premenopause, perimenopause. That in our 40s is when that kind
Yeah.
of change happens, and so that metabolism slows down.
okay?
So it's really hard to lose weight at that time.
What about men then? They don't have that issue.
I would say like they do too, but I think it's not as bad for them as it is for
Yeah.
us. Yes.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
Because I see my kids, I mean, they can eat anything and they're like totally okay. But so we're actually like starting with our son too. Like, he's approaching his preteen years. And sort of telling him like, okay, like son, like these are like the best, choices you can make. It's up to you. If you go to a birthday party and they only offer pizza and cake, do you really think you should be having like 2 or 3 slices, or can you be okay with having like 1 slice and like taking a small piece of cake? And
Yeah.
already teaching him to be
Yeah.
mindful, right?
Yeah.
Because I think like when I go to a restaurant, I see the kids menus, it's like so unhealthy. Like it's either it's fried or it's a lot of carb heavy, like
Yes.
not much protein, or if there's enough, if they give the protein, it's very small piece. Like so,
Yeah.
I think that we do need to restructure how our kids also view food too. And not just be like,
Yeah.
oh, you'll be fine,
Yeah.
So.
And then also I a lot of these diets, like okay, some people say okay, don't eat meat. Some people say eat meat. Like it's confusing sometimes,
It is,
Like
yes.
I'm like okay, I like chicken, but it's like too much of chicken I don't like it. Then but
Right.
mom, you need the protein, okay? But I'm just saying like but when I see a lot of these theories that vegetarian is good. But then
Right.
you come up with only protein. So it's very contradictory sometimes,
Yeah,
So
and it can get
it's,
very confusing. 'Cause,
yeah.
like, everybody has an opinion, and everyone's gonna say this is the right diet.
Yeah.
I think the right diet is like what you feel is good for yourself and fuels your body and provides you with the nutrients you need. We all need protein. Everybody needs protein. Everybody needs carbs. Everybody needs fat.
So just listen to your body. Your
And
body would
also-
tell you a
yeah,
little bit, right?
yeah,
If you're feeling weak or you're tired, that means you need something more than what you're taking, right?
Yeah.
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 And then if you're
obviously, following the advice of like a nutritionist or like somebody that's more of an expert in these areas, and listening to their advice, I think like most of them will guide you to follow more of a whole foods kind of diet, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the more because you want to be able to have a diet where like have something where like you don't think like of it as a diet, you think of it as a lifestyle. You also think of it like okay, it's sustainable.
Yeah.
Like many people go on diets and then it's like, oh, I lost all this weight and then it all came back.
Came back.
Because why? Because you didn't really change anything, did you? You only followed this diet, but now you're off this diet. So what happens next? So that sustainability needs to be there. Any diet that's going to work for you long term has to be sustainable.
Yeah. Otherwise, it comes back more.
Yes,
I think
you
the
gain
weight more.
There's actually been results or studies been done that show people gain more weight.
Again,
if they follow the stricter the diet, the higher
the higher that thing is, right?
Yeah.
So also like some boot camps and all that, they'll be like you can lose weight in 6 weeks or something. But I feel like it's a lot of strenuous exercise too, and and again, there's no right or wrong, I guess. Like it works for some people, right?
Yeah.
So, but you have seen patients, and you've seen that you feel that if we can improve before it's too late, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think anybody can. I think like what happens is like it's really like there's also, that's why there's a shift towards like looking at how people eat and how people view food and how their relationship with food. Like, so there's been a lot of like studies on like the mental aspect of like, food and the relationship, and then like figuring out, okay, like if you can break those cycles, then you have a different
Yeah, I
relationship.
heard about that too. There are some websites that do that, Yeah, there's a lot of info. But as you're saying, basically, if you are happy, you are feeling well, you will listen to your body more, you get your me time, then, that will help you, right?
Yes,
Is that what
for
you're
sure.
saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what, as mothers, as women, we have hard time getting that me time, and, that I think we all
Yes.
need to think about that,
That was, this is something I discovered about myself when I became a mom. I was like, I just wasn't one of those moms that could be like selfless and be like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
give.
Yeah.
I realized quickly on like that if my cup was not being filled, there's no way I'm filling anybody else's cup.
Yeah.
And so now my husband knows, okay, B needs her time. Mommy needs to go relax. Like, so it's really nice to have like a supporting spouse and like, a loving spouse that really understands.
Yeah.
And understands my needs, and like, we both have to support each other. So
Yeah, I think everybody needs their me time,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's very important.
it's very crucial. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. All right. Thank you, Bharti. That was awesome.
Yes.
Such a
welcome.
great conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions I still have, but obviously we'll meet again.
Sounds good. I
Yeah,
look
but
forward
this
to
is this is awesome. Thank you very much.
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Okay.
If you wanna talk about anything at all, then you know who to call. Just tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana. Just tell Sanjana.